Hey, and welcome to part 2 of Azgaar's Fantasy Map Generator tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be covering the Heightmap, biomes, rivers, relief icons, and alternative ways to view your map. The first and most straightforward feature I would like to cover, though, is the three-dimensional map views. From the Layers menu, you simply need to click either 3D or Globe, and this will bring up a map view accordingly. This is really just another way to perceive your map, and it even projects whatever layers you currently have activated. Also, the position of the map on the globe view even interacts with the Configure World option menu from its relative size to its latitudinal position. For example, if I set size to 100%, the map now represents the entire planet. Moving on, I will now cover everything that there is to the Heightmap. When greeted with the Heightmap editor, there is a menu with 5 different options on the left. However, first I want to direct your attention to the cell info located here, notably its height value. The height map operates on a basic units of 0 to 100, with 20 being just above sea level. In parentheses, it gives an equivalent value in feet or meters, which you can change in the units editor located in the Tools tab. This basic unit is your limit in editing height map. Now onto the buttons. The Paintbrushes button will bring back up the brush menu on the right here. The first 4 brush tools are different ways of raising and lowering elevations. Then there is a brush to make all painted cells exactly equal in height, and then there's a smoothing brush, and there's also a height disruption brush, which is the exact opposite of smoothing. There are also these buttons at the bottom to undo or redo changes, rescale the map, conditional rescale, smooth or disrupt, or erase the map entirely. Next is the template editor, where you can make templates from random generation. The templates offered here are templates which are already found in the options menu. Here. I would suggest looking at current templates and then looking at what you want to add or delete if you have a template in mind. The buttons at the top will add the equivalent to hills, valleys, ranges, but in terms of height only. So these speak in terms of elevations and depressions, rather than promising an actual mountain range. Clicking one of these will add it to the list where you can further edit all of its parameters. As you see here, n is the number of times it will occur, and a hyphen will mean the generator picks a random value between the two given. H is the height. Then there are also the x and y axes, if you consider this entire screen to be a grid. So for example, under the 2 continents template, there is a trough or elongated depression, which is set to spawn either 3 or 4 times, ranging from 15 to 20 units in height, and between the x coordinates of 15 to 85 and y 20 to 80. You may be wondering why there are multiple hill units here, and that is to ensure multiple elevated blobs spawn with slightly different features in height and coordinates. Next, you can preview the height map from a pure black and white image, as well as from a 3D scene, both of these which are simply ways to view the map differently. Lastly, the amazing image converter. Here is where you can paint your own image by hand or upload it if you want. For brevity, I'm going to look up a height map, let's say a height map of Asia. It is suggested to find a map with color and you'll see why shortly. Now I'll upload it just like that. You can see the cells have tried to match the given color as best as possible, however they are limited by the points number of cells. Now for some real magic. There are 3 different auto assignment options on the top here. Alternatively, I can also just click on each color bound and assign it a value, keeping in mind that 20 is pretty much the equivalent to a coastline. So the first of the 3 options here work best with monochrome black and white images, while the next one here works well with fully colored pictures like this one. And this third option will assign colors based on the height map's own coloring scale, so essentially if you are re-uploading a height map image from this generator. So we will pick the middle option, and suddenly it looks a lot more natural to the generator's height map. Click the confirm button at the top, and then we can continue to edit or complete the customization. And voila, look at that. A quick and easy map from an image. Next is Biomes and Climate. So when you edit your height map, the map will automatically generate a landscape of biomes to match it. It is a good idea to start out broad, as any changes to the Configure World menu will overwrite any other changes you've made. For example, painting the biomes like this will not remain if you were to change the world as a whole. So start broad and narrow in as you customize biomes. In the Configure World menu, here, you can see multiple options. The equator and poles here help define and determine global heat distribution. For comparison, Earth's levels are about 31 at the equator and -40 at the poles. However, this changes seasonally. Next, you can determine how much an area of the planet you are incorporating here. This can range from 100% being the whole globe to 1% being comparable to about a small island. The size and latitudes really only affect two things generator side though. Primarily it serves to edit biomes, but it also can be taken into account in the globe view. You can then adjust where your location is on the planet by scrolling the latitude. The longitude does not really matter because you could say this is anywhere on the longitude of the planet. Next is the precipitation, which determines levels of rainfall and ultimately decides how many and how big the rivers are. Rivers naturally flow from high elevations down into the sea, so they will appear to flow from areas in your map that have relatively higher elevation and then flow or follow lower elevations to the sea. This is also useful to keep in mind when editing rivers, which I will get into. Note that higher precipitations will essentially erase desert-like biomes, while lower precipitation will reduce rivers and thin them out. Next is the wind direction. Wind can be thought of as how wind blows clouds carrying rainfall. So clouds and rain are typically blocked by mountains, and so places on Earth can often be seen with less vegetation on one side of a mountain range and desert on the other. Now, taking wind direction here into account, we are essentially declaring where the wind and rainfall will be coming from, and thus where the lush biomes might be more likely to spawn. If your map is flat, this may not affect very much of anything at all. Lastly, there is some further information here to orient yourself, or information to provide to people who view your map, such as approximate coordinates, or meridian length, etc. There are also some presets at the bottom here. Overall, I like to mix and match to an image I have in mind, and then paint what I don't get. Like in the first video, biomes have small wiki links as buttons on the right side, and you can create your own as you wish. Next, we will look at rivers. Rivers will tend to generate pretty naturally, but you can also add more through the Tools menu. Every river flows from an uphill source into the ocean or a lake, so clicking anywhere on the map will try to find the best route for a river to flow. You can also click on each river, similar to clicking on labels, and edit it from there. In this river menu, you can customize the river's name, type, and stem if the river joins with another. The source width affects the river's entire width, its distance across, while the width modifier is how the river tapers. Changing the width modifier will not affect the head of the river as much as the bottom that deposits into the ocean, as you can see here. A recent update also just gave more natural bends into the river, and you can click and drag the red dots here to change the river's position. Clicking along the river will add more dots, while single-clicking the dots themselves will erase that dot. The same principle is applied to editing labels. You can click this pin button here, and then select cells to create an entirely new river from scratch. The first selected cell will be where the river starts from, and the last cell will be where it flows into. So ideally, you would select an uphill source and then shape the river around cells until you reach a lake or ocean. If you want to add rivers to each other, you can do the same thing, and it works pretty seamlessly, as you can see. There's also a notepad function, also found in objects like bergs, where you can write wherever you wish and attach it to this exact river/object. Lastly is relief icons. Relief icons rely on both the Heightmap and Biomes to more artistically add features. These are often more pleasing to see than the Heightmap layers meshed behind the political one, although I have seen it work before. All you need to do is turn this layer on and then click on any of the relief icons. It can be quite laggy because every relief icon essentially is its own object. From here you can edit the individual icon, or by clicking this paintbrush icon, you can paint all the relief at once. By choosing from the list, you can select which icons to paint regardless of the biome they actually represent. Based on spacing, painting over existing icons will have mixed results. You can then selectively erase icons with this erase button here, and it does just the reverse effect. I really like this one too because you can erase certain relief icons while ignoring others at the same time. Last thing is you can change the icons from this black and white look into a more detailed look through the style menu. Alright, that is it for this video. It was a lot of technical stuff, but knowing these things can really improve the look and immersion of your world. Again, if you have any questions, post in the comments, or I highly encourage you to check out the help channel in the Discord, which I will post a link to in the description.